but I guess that ship has sailed a long time ago. And I guess the next part of this video, or a separate video, I don't know how I'm going to really cut it, is going to be replacing these subframe mounted bushings on E46. In this video, or this part of the video, I'm going to extract mounting bushings on this E46 subframe. So we have 4 bushings, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. They are not the same bushings. These 2 bushings in the back are the same, in a sense. Left and right are the same bushings. I got one out already, and here's the second one. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and show how this one is going to come out, and the tool and the setup and everything, I guess. So this is what this bushing looks like, and like I said, we have 2 of them. It's an aluminum core and an outer, I guess, steel shell with a rubberized coating. So in that sense, there is rubber around the outside of the bushing, and when it's pressed in to the subframe, there is no rust happening around the bushing, so it's not going to, it wouldn't have a chance to rust into the subframe, and any extraction is basically going to be you fighting against this rubber grabbing onto the subframe, onto the seat. One thing to make a note of that is that the bushings have arrows on 2 sides, so that kind of directs the installation of the bushing, and I guess this is the axis, long axis of the car, front to back. Why? Because there's rubber and there are gaps, and there should be a direction for those gaps, in a sense that how this bushing or how the subframe moves around. Okay, so this is the rear, and on the other side of the subframe we have 2 bushings that are not the same as the rear bushings. You can see the difference, and one of the biggest things that is here is they do look different. You can tell that by looking at the rubber that is in between the core and the outer shell, and the diameters. The rear bushings have larger diameters. These are actually 2 forward bushings are also not the same from left to right. This one has a straight hole. I think it's like 12 millimeters, and that's what it fits. Yep, that's 12 millimeters. And this is the right bushing, and this one, because my subframe is upside down, and this bushing doesn't have a hole, it has a slot. There are 2 of them in the front, but they are not the same, so these are different part numbers. Oh, by the way, this one says 05, so this is a 2005 subframe, all original, so 20 years old as of today. So we'll start with this bushing. So this is the tool that you have to be using. Yeah, it's a little bit of a complicated device, I guess, a complicated contraption, but that's what you have to have. I don't think there's a way around it, unless you want to put this in a hydraulic press somehow, and the whole thing, if you get it out of the car like this. But if you are dealing with the subframe while it's being installed onto the car, onto your car, that's a different situation. So in essence, this is a good tool to just have, well, because that's what works. And you can see that these things have shapes and everything, so it's not just a flat washer, like for example this one that I used on the differential bushings. These have matching reliefs and everything like this, so that's how this works. The diameters are all correct, and you can see how this rubber of the bushing lines up with this tool. So that's what you need. Like I said, there is pretty much no way around it. So, and this is the other part of this tool, and it's got these fingers that are going to actually sit again. Putting this away. As you can see, this bushing has these 2 cutouts, and that's where this tool is going to fit. So in a sense, there is only a single direction how this tool can be installed. So you cannot really install it randomly. It has to sit like this, and again, it's these fingers are going to be sitting against the subframe. the circular feature of the subframe. There's only a bit of a movement, and this is going to be, so if you actually are looking at the subframe when it's in the car, while it's in the car, this is going to be the bottom. So in a sense that my subframe is upside down, and I'm going to put this thing in here like this, line things up, and I'm going to put this thing on. It has to go through. Of course, then it has to. So these fingers have to be, again, sitting against the subframe, not against the bushing. And I'm going to space this out just because I'm too lazy, and you don't need to use any of these. I'm just, like I said, I'm too lazy to turn this thing too many turns. I'm going to line this up. I can probably take a picture of what this tool says, because there's a name and a port number, and if you try to figure out where I got this tool from, I have no idea. This is not even my tool. Yes, this tool belongs to my brother, so I have no idea, like I said, where it came from. Something like that. Again, we have an 18mm nut on the bottom right here, and there is a 24mm nut on the top. I'm going to start turning this, and of course it's going to become tight instantly. And since this is a rubber installation or rubber bushing, well, in the sense that the rubber is in between the bushing and the subframe, so it's not metal on metal, it kind of makes sense. I figured that if you make everything super tight and it kind of resists, if you leave it alone for a few minutes, the rubber starts to actually flow, and you can continue in a sense that if it becomes way too tight, like this right here is becoming like really tight, and the bushing is already going, so there is a bit of a gap. So if I let it sit for a few minutes, it becomes not as tight anymore. So in that sense, if you're not in a hurry, you can just take your time. And I guess there is no reason for me to film this, but tight. Why it's making noises? Because you can hear that. So the rubber gets actually squeezed in between, and it cracks and rips. Well, it rips mainly. You can hear that. Yeah, it's the rubber right here. You can actually see pieces, and that's okay. There are pieces that just separate. The digital space on SD cards and such on digital media is not really, doesn't cost anything, so I don't have to really stop, in a sense that I'm not saving anything if I stop my camera and then start to roll it again. I definitely need to get a good 24mm wrench. Definitely, I promise, we'll definitely get a better tool next time I do this job. I think, there you go. Let's recap this. So I got to a point where it just released, and there you go. That's the second bushing. In that sense, it's going to come out out of the subframe into your hands. So your car is going to be above the subframe, and this bushing, so it comes out down. It comes out down. So out of the car down. It's not, you're not pushing it into the chassis. So a really small space that you really need on the top, so that if you lower the subframe just this much, how much? So you will have to have a space about 50mm, 40 to 50mm, about 2 inches, I guess. So that's the rear bushing. Now we are going to move on to the two forward bushings. So now the forward bushings are slightly different in the sense that the center hole is smaller. That's why this threaded roll has a step down diameter, so this one is like 14 or something millimeters, this is more like 12 millimeters, so this will slide in like this, and it's actually going to stop at certain point. This washer or pusher, whatever, is a little bit different, as you can see. Just a different shape for some reason. I don't know if that's the correct or not the correct thing to use or not. In any case, this slides in like that. This again goes on this side, as you can see. So that's where this nut goes, and again this is going to be, it's going to go into, the fingers will have to be outside of the bushing and sitting against the subframe. That's how that works. And again, I'm going to just, this is just for spacing things. Again, I'm going to have this 18 millimeters here, holding it somehow, something like that. Now the top is 24 millimeters again. You start making it tight. Have to make sure that the fingers are properly positioned against the subframe, and then you just start making it all tight. Just keep going until things start to move, and things are moving. I didn't hear any noises. Would be nice to have some help, somebody, even if it's 45 kilograms, just to step on the thing and make it stay. That's how my life has always been for as long as I remember. I have been doing everything by myself. I think the first time I got an engine out of a car, a 4-cylinder 1.5, I was probably 16 years old, and I got that engine out. And then I also swapped, what was it, VQ35s. Yep, I got those engines out, in and out, out and in, by myself, without a lift, in a garage. It was a lot of fun. I was young and I didn't care. If something was impossible to do, I did it anyway. These days, I'm much older, wiser, more experienced, probably more capable, but I just don't want to do it anymore. I have a project in my mind that could be a really cool thing to do, but I feel too lazy at this point in life. I'm going to put this socket on like this. Makes so much more sense. I think this is it. Come on out. Let's hold things up. There you go. This bushing is out. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now if I look at this subframe like this bushing has a slot, and this slot goes sideways. I notched a few places right here, so when I reinstall the bushings, I know where the arrows are going to be lining up to, what the arrows are going to line up against. You could use a marker or a piece of masking tape, but I'm going to be painting the subframe, so I cannot really mark anything tape, because I will be sanding this whole thing. So this is it. This bushing is out. The same thing is going to happen, or the same process is going to be applicable to the second bushing. It's an oval or a slot, whatever you call it, whatever you would like to call it, but this bushing is pretty much everything is the same, except it's a slot instead of a round hole. So I guess there is no point to show how this one will come out, because it's exactly the same process as this bushing, and that's exactly the tool that you have to be using. So like there's really no good way around this. As far as I said that I could take a picture of, or maybe I can do a close-up. This camera should be capable of doing this. So this is it for the extraction of these bushings. As far as the installation goes, I guess I will do a video on the installation too, but I have to take care of the paint and such, rust paint and all on this subframe. I just need the bushings to be out, and I need to sand it, clean it better, and paint it. This should be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and the installation is going to be a different video, so just look up that the video for the installation, and it should be up on my channel.